All right, we've got a fun one today. We're going to test out 10 different generative AI art models. Now, most of us are familiar with all the models from Stability AI like Stable Diffusion XL, but there's a whole universe of models that have been fine-tuned and trained beyond that for either different aesthetic values or even textual embeddings that help improve the way that it follows prompts. I thought it would be fun to take the exact identical prompt and run it through 10 different models, and we can see how each one of them looks. At the end, I'm going to throw these on one of my websites, and you can go through and actually vote on which ones you think are the best. Here's a list of models that we're going to test today. It's Proteus V2, SSD1B, Playground V2, Stability AI SDXL, this is kind of the baseline, Juggernaut XL, fine-tuned model on top of SDXL, Juggernaut XL V9, Animag XL, which is fine-tuned specifically for anime and cartoons, Kandinsky 2.2, Real Viz XL version 2, and Dreamshaper XL Turbo. Links to all of these models are down in the description, so you can go and download those and try them out on your own computer if you have the ability to do so. If you don't have the ability to do so, head over to Pixel Dojo AI. All of these are loaded up and ready to go. What better way to test these than to just go through some of these examples? So the first one we're going to do is this photo of a red-haired girl. This one is beautiful lady, freckles, big smile, ruby eyes, short hair, dark makeup, hyper detailed photography, soft light, head and shoulder portrait cover. We're looking for two different things here. One, the prompt adherence, so how well it actually follows the detailed instructions I provided in the prompt. Does it actually make the eyes ruby colored, for example? I haven't had too much luck doing that in the past. The other piece of this is the aesthetic. How does the image actually look at the end? Is it visually pleasing? Those are the things we're going to look for. We're going to start with Proteus V2 and click generate. It's going to generate 2 images for each model. We're going to keep the same sampler, scheduler, everything else identical between generations. The only thing that's going to change is the model that's being used. And here are our first 2 images. You'll notice that both of these are freckled red-haired girls. Very short hair, shoulder up, followed the prompt very well. You'll notice that both of them have ruby colored eyes. This is something that in my previous testing, I had a lot of difficulty with SDXL getting that exact precise prompt following. And I've been really impressed overall with this particular model. Not only does it come back with really good quality results, it's also very fast. Next up is SSD1B. This is actually a fine-tuned Stable Diffusion XL model that has 50% fewer parameters and is 60% faster at generating an image. You'll notice right away this isn't as high a quality as Proteus. You can see that the face lost a lot of detail. It doesn't look as realistic. It doesn't have ruby eyes, so it didn't catch that part. Some of the teeth over here on the left-hand side image are kind of missing. Just not that same quality you get out of some of these other models. The third model we're going to test is Playground V2. What's interesting about this is it was actually trained and fine-tuned with 30,000 images from Midjourney. So it's been purported to have much higher aesthetic quality score than Stable Diffusion XL, but we'll be the judge of that. And here's the result. It only comes back with 1 image instead of 2. I think maybe if we tried a different scheduler, we might get a higher quality result, but it's just, there's a lot of artifacting. It's kind of out of focus, really oversaturated. Not one of my favorite images. Next up on the list is Stability AI, Stable Diffusion XL. This is kind of the OG, the base model that a lot of these others were trained upon. And here are the SDXL images. You'll notice they're not quite as saturated as some of the others. They aren't as sharp as some of the others either. I think by default, it's sort of softer images that end up coming back from SDXL. The cool thing is sometimes I'll take these because I like the aesthetic of them, and I'll run them through my image upscaler, and it sharpens them up and it adds a little bit more detail, and you end up getting a really nice picture. Now, looking at these though, it did follow most of the prompt instructions. You've got a freckled woman, she has short hair. You'll notice that neither of these images have ruby colored eyes though. I do Juggernaut XL version 8. Juggernaut XL was trained and fine-tuned upon Stable Diffusion XL, just like a lot of these models were. And this is the 8th iteration of that. There's also the 9th, which we'll test out after this. And really what they did is they tried to fine-tune it to get a higher aesthetic score, something that's a little bit more visually pleasing than the images that come out of SDXL. And you'll notice right off the bat that it's a lot sharper, a little bit more refined. So you'll see this one adheres to the prompt fairly well. It looks like you've almost got amber or reddish colored eyes, so it's a little bit better than SDXL in that regard. And otherwise, just nice high quality photos here. If you zoom in, you do have a little bit of weirdness. It looks like there's maybe something going on with the teeth here. You could probably do an image to image and kind of refine this a little bit, but there is that at least. Let's see how Juggernaut XL version 9 compares to version 8. Oh, that's interesting. It doesn't like this prompt. Something's going on here. All right, so you've got the ruby eyes. These are kind of terrifying looking, honestly. So, you know, you don't see the abnormalities in the teeth like you did in version 8, although there's this weird like masking around the mouth and the eyes. And then the skin just looks like too wet and glossy. Other bits of this are nice, like the hair looks ultra realistic, I'll give it that. And then the eyes are very detailed and they're definitely ruby, so this followed that prompt adherence really well. It's just, I don't know, I don't like the overall aesthetic of this compared to version 8. Kind of creepy. And when you zoom in, you can see that even more. Looks like there's this masking around the mouth, like it must do some sort of fine tuning there specifically. I don't know, odd one. This next one's called Animag XL. You can see it was trained on a whole bunch of anime images and it should come back with some really nice quality results. Now you can't compare this obviously directly to some of these others because they're trained for more photorealism than this one, but depending on the type of project you're doing, this could be a good alternative. And here are the two results from Animag, and you can see both of them have those beautiful ruby eyes, really high quality results. Freckles, everything else, same shoulder up view that we're supposed to get from this image. So again, you can't really compare this directly to the photorealism of some of the others, but if you're going for that anime look, you really should check this model out. Next up is Kandinsky 2.2. Kandinsky's interesting because the images that come back have this like darker, I don't know, it's like a surrealism to them. They have really nice teeth. It looks nice overall. It's just a very particular aesthetic. And if you're going for this look, it's great. It's just slightly different than a lot of the stuff you're going to get from the other models. Now you'll notice it didn't quite adhere to the prompt fully. Neither of these models have ruby colored eyes. They both have red hair. But overall, it's a really unique look. And you can especially see that when you zoom fully into these images. Now, one of the other things I will point out, it looks like it gets a little bit too precise in its patterns. You can see the freckles have almost too much of a normalized pattern to them. They're not quite realistic in that sense. Like you'd never really see somebody that looks quite like this. It's almost like too symmetrical. Next up is Real Viz XL version 2. Here are the two results from Real Viz XL. Pretty high quality. The eyes are a little bit odd to me. They're not quite as realistic as I've seen from some of the other models that we've used. It also didn't adhere to the prompt as well. She has dark brown hair, which is short, which is good, so it followed that piece. Still no to the ruby eyes. I don't know, just an interesting overall look, but not quite as realistic as some of the others. You almost get some of that more symmetric pattern in the freckles as well, like we saw in Kandinsky. It leaves us with Dreamshaper XL Turbo, and being a turbo model, you can typically get away with running fewer inference steps in order to get the same high quality image out of it. But like I said, we're not going to touch that. We're going to leave everything as is. All right, just like a couple of those other models that we've seen before, it's sort of overly saturated, overly stylized. I don't really like this one either. You can see there's way too many freckles in some of the places. It's not as symmetric as some of the others, so that looks better, but it's still kind of bizarre the way the skin looks. It just doesn't look realistic to me. The hair, the lighting, all these other details are pretty good. It looks like it actually captured ruby eyes in the face as well, but I don't know, there's just something about these that does not look right. And look, if you're doing something other than photos of a person, you might get better results from some of these other models. Like here, let's test Dreamshaper with a dragon instead of a girl and see if you get back a better result. And here you go, depending on what you're looking for, this might be a better result than you get back from some of the other models. I think that's sort of the bottom line here. A lot of these models are trained on very specific types of images, specific data sets, and so they're going to do a better job at producing some images over others. So it really comes down to your prompt and the art style you're trying to create. I think for me personally, Proteus V2 sort of stood out as one of the leaders in this, and that's something I didn't really expect going into this because it's not a model I've heard a lot about outside of my testing the last couple days. Juggernaut XL is something I think most people have seen. It's one of the default models for focus, for example. And like I said, I'm going to drop all of these images on a page, so by the time this video goes up, you'll be able to head over there, check them out for yourself, and go ahead and vote in a poll. Tell me which one you think is the best. Leave me a comment and let me know which one you liked out of these. Don't forget to grab and download your favorite model or head over to Pixel Dojo and you can run all of these no problem. As always, thank you all so much. I'm Brian Lovett, and remember, all your tech belong to us.
I'm the virtual prophet in the tech town, breaking down AI, wearing the crown. From basics to complex, never let you down. All your tech AI, earning the renown.